Hey everybody, it's Glidercat and it's time to play. Today we're looking at a game called Ostriv. I was granted a review key so that I could put this content together for you, so my thanks goes out to the developer for that. Right now you're looking at the latest game trailer at the time of this recording, and for this first look video, I'm actually going to just run the game trailer in a loop because the footage is just fantastic. Now you can watch my own gameplay of Ostriv by checking out my Let's Play series in the Glidercat channel, and that'll give you a good idea of how the game starts out when you actually play it. But for this one, I'm just going to let that trailer run because he's got some pretty cool villages set up that you can check out, and my Let's Play, was kind of smaller scale than what they show in the trailer here. Now, as I record this, the game is in early access, and it's been in early access for quite a long time, well over a year and maybe even 2 years now. So what's taking so long, right? Well, interesting you asked the question. The developer has just posted a topic in the forums on Steam titled, "What is taking so long?" Now, I've been aware of this game for what seems like 3 or 4 years. I've had it on my wish list, and I've kind of slowly followed its development. And during that time, I'm guessing the developer has gotten that question hundreds of times, and that's probably what prompted his post. You can go read his post in the Steam forums if you like, but the short answer, at least in my view, is that this game is a labor of love for this developer, and that's what's taking so long. The amount of care and attention going into the game is just incredible. So, for example, just one of the buildings in the game, the Salt Works, is constructed of 556 separate parts, all of which were modeled by hand, presumably by the developer. So now, does that mean you're going to get bogged down keeping track of tons of little details as you play? I mean, I've played games with so many details that I spend more time in wikis and on YouTube trying to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to be doing than I actually spend playing the game. Ostriv is not that kind of game, I can assure you of that. All that time and attention to detail that developers put into the game simply enriches your experience and immersion in it as you play. And it does this to a very great extent, in my opinion. So you can probably hear the soundtrack a bit in the background, and I can tell you that it's pretty amazing. The music is very relaxing. So relaxing, in fact, that if you came home from work with a raging headache, I bet 30 minutes or maybe even 15 listening to this game might just make your headache go away. I'm not kidding. It's really something else. If you like kind of relaxing acoustic music, that's what you get in this game. It's really something else. Anyway, just don't listen to it while you're driving because it's super relaxing. You might want to take a nap. Another note on the level of detail put into the game. We've all played city builder games where you place a building and it magically rises up from the ground while a worker appears to be like hammering on one corner of it. Or maybe you see scaffolding appear and the building magically materializes behind it. Or worst case, you just place the building and it magically appears out of nowhere instantly. Well, as you've likely already noticed from the trailer footage, that's not the case with Ostriv. You pop down a building in this game and you'll watch workers shovel clay from a clay pit into buckets, place those buckets on a handcart, pull the handcart over to the building site, unload the buckets of clay from the cart, etc., etc., etc. You kind of understand what I'm talking about here, what I'm getting at. You'll watch as each beam of the building is individually put in its place by workers. And there's just a ton of detail that's gone into that aspect of the game. Now, do you need to spend all your time watching all of this when you just want to add a house to your village? Nope, you don't need to. But it's there if you want to, right? You can kind of take it in as you want. You're not forced to sit there and watch it, but it's just all there happening. And in my view, it's the painstaking attention that's gone into creating the atmosphere of this game that makes Ostriv stand out among other city builder games that I've played. Now, Ostriv is much more than just its visuals. This is a full-featured city builder game, and as you might expect, you're going to need to raise crops, you're going to tend to livestock, you're going to process grain into flour, and provide for the many, many needs of all of your villagers. You need to survive winters and making sure you have enough food on hand. You'll need to pay workers and raise funds through trading the goods that you produce with other villages. And as with the graphics and the atmosphere of the game, plenty of detail has been put into these systems as well. But in my 10 to 12 hours of gameplay so far, I've never found any of it to be cumbersome or overcomplicated. And I'm talking about all the different systems of production chains and trade and all that. It's very intuitive and pretty straightforward. I wouldn't call it simple. It's engaging. So, but it's not, crazy complicated. In my first playthrough, I played at the normal speed for most of the time, and I really just took in all the details. I took it easy and really enjoyed the relaxing nature of the game. On that default setting, that normal speed, things move pretty slow. I'd say slower than most city builder games, but that's your opportunity to kind of just like take in all these details in the graphics and watch the builders if you like. However, you're also able to speed up the game to 5 times or 12 times the normal speed, and I use that heavily in my Let's Play series to kind of keep things moving along. So either way you choose to play, it's great. Play it relaxed, or if you want to, progress quite a bit faster, go ahead and hit the 5-time or 12-time speed acceleration, and you'll be just fine. I didn't encounter enemies in the game. I don't believe that's part of the game or planned to be added to the game. I haven't read anything about that. It is worth mentioning, too, that there are more major features being added, including an education system. But that was not yet implemented in the version of the game I played for this video, so I can't really speak to that. I think there's other major features coming as well. I would just be aware that those features tend to come slow, right? A lot of detail goes into that. A lot of work goes into these features. So expect new functionality to roll out kind of slow. You can always track the development in Steam and look at the previous updates and get a feel for how often they come out. Now, in Ostriv, your village starts out pretty tiny. And as I mentioned, it grows somewhat slowly. But from what you can see in the trailer footage here in the background, or as I'm talking, the villages can eventually grow pretty large, and it'll give you plenty to do along the way. Well, that's really all I have to say for this first look video. It's not a full review. Like I said, I've played for about 10 to 12 hours. I've really enjoyed it. This is a game I would go to if I just needed to unwind or relax. This isn't a game I would go to if I was like really hyper and wanting to move real quick. It's just a very nice, relaxing game. And I think there's a lot of gameplay in here. But again, I've only played it 10 to 12 hours. This isn't a review. It's just a first look. Again, it's in early access, and if it looks like something you're interested in, you can pick it up on Steam now, or just add it to your wish list and keep an eye on it as it develops further, like I've been doing for the last few years, until I got the key. So for now, this is Glidercat saying, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. That helps my tiny channel grow. You can also find literally dozens of first look and Let's Play videos on the Glidercat channel, so check each and every one of those out. And that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.